They did it. They finally did it. After what feels like years of failed trade and free agency attempts, the Los Angeles Lakers have signed a center, the missing piece to this team. A team that now has LeBron James, Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, and a starting center. Things couldn't get any better.
My conversations over the last 3 days have crystallized that the Lakers are essentially viewing LeBron as an expiring contract.
Yeah, so the Lakers are currently the most confusing team in the NBA, because whilst they have 2 top 10 players in the league, one of which is entering his prime and is by all reports in the best shape of his life. I know we've heard that before, but it looks kind of true. They have a third option who has an incredible level of skill for a third option, a guy who could probably average 23 and 7 a game in the right setting. Yet despite that, it is being heavily rumored that LeBron wants out of LA either this year or next year. It is reported that the Lakers are planning to build around Luka in 2027, ignoring this year, and despite signing DeAndre Ayton, they lost Dorian Finney-Smith, they missed out on Brook Lopez, and apparently LeBron and Austin Reeves don't like playing with Luka Doncic.
LeBron does not like playing with Luka. Reeves does not like playing with Luka.
But the only reason I mention this is because beyond the roster construction, there have been some strange reports about the Lakers' offseason. Obviously, the LeBron news has pretty much overshadowed everything, but how about what happened with Dorian Finney-Smith? Sure, they didn't re-sign him after trading assets to get him last year, and after he made a huge impact with the Lakers, which was confusing enough, but when you hear what actually happened, it doesn't sound great.
The word out there is that Rob Pelinka was going out there and talking to teams about Dorian's knee to try to tank Dorian's free agency value. Word is that got back to Dorian and his camp.
I think it's fair for Lakers fans to be frustrated with Rob Pelinka, because outside of being gifted a generational superstar because of a generational mistake made by Nico Harrison, considering the top-end talent on this roster, and the fact they play in LA for the biggest team in the league, there is no reason the Lakers should be missing out on so many free agents. I mean, according to Ramona Shelburne, another very reliable source, Brook Lopez was offered the starting job, but took the Clippers offer instead because he was unsure about LeBron's future. There is just so much happening with this Lakers team outside of what they need to be focusing on, which is basketball and building a team that is connected. But the reason the Lakers are confusing, as opposed to just being a mess, is because despite all of this, despite the LeBron news, despite Lopez turning down a deal and Rob dirty talking, that's probably not the right phrase, but yeah, despite all of that, this team still has a load of talent. This should be the best offense in the NBA. It should comfortably be the best offense in the NBA. When you have 2 guys like Luka and LeBron, I mean Luka by himself, we have seen averaged 34, 9 and 9 a game with a worse supporting cast, and even at 40 years old, we know what LeBron can do offensively, giving you 25 and 7 a night in his sleep, an elite cutter, someone who has improved his shooting every single year of his career. He can play off the ball, he can play on the ball, they can stagger minutes with Luka and LeBron, and then you have a third option who can come in and also run the show completely. Someone who averaged 25 and 5 a game last year, and honestly could do a lot more in a bigger role. That's without mentioning Rui and Ayton. No matter what you think of them as players, particularly Ayton, because I don't think people feel too strongly about Rui either way, Ayton is a really solid and talented offensive player, and is a serious upgrade on Jackson Hayes, who was starting for them last year. Now, everything I just said is true. There are also 2 sides to basketball, and I'm not sure if there is a single good defender in the Lakers starting lineup. Let me make myself clear. I'm not saying these guys are all garbage defensively. I think Luka can play solid defense, LeBron can play good defense at times, same as Ayton and Rui, even Reeves sometimes. But there is a difference between being an okay defender and actually playing defense and getting stops. Every team needs those guys. The Thunder have about 7 of them. The Pacers had 4 of them in their starting lineup? Why do you think Tyrese Halliburton and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander got targeted and highlighted on defense so much? They aren't the worst defenders ever, it's just the fact everyone else on those teams were getting paid in large parts due to their defense. Who exactly on the Lakers roster can you expect to go out there and give you 35 minutes of hard defense? I can think of a few of them. None of those guys I'm thinking of are starters, however, with the exception of DeAndre Ayton. Yes, we need to talk about DeAndre Ayton, because I think the general consensus on Ayton is lower than it should be. Yes, the motor concerns are real. Yes, he is not a great screener. Yes, you have seen the clip of him not even pretending to contest that Nikola Jokic layup attempt. We have all seen it, and that can be an encapsulation of DeAndre Ayton on certain nights. Sometimes he doesn't run the floor hard enough. There are a lot of things he doesn't do sometimes. Hence, why the Lakers got him for $8 million instead of $35 million. Because in a perfect world, in a world that we have already seen, when DeAndre Ayton was 22 years old on an elite Phoenix team, he can be a near all-star level center. That is not an exaggeration. That is someone who can average 18 and 11 a game with supreme offensive skill and then defensive talent as well. Size, athleticism, verticality, the ability to move his feet, strength guarding big players in the post. There is a reason DeAndre Ayton went first overall, and there is a reason he got a max contract and was offered a max contract from the Indiana Pacers as well. This is a guy who has all of the tools to be successful, and he's only 26 years old. Hold up. DeAndre Ayton is 26 years old, and one thing DeAndre Ayton has made clear, he's in the NBA to make money. Maybe he loves basketball, I have no idea, but I know he wants to make money. He has said just as much, and the reason I mention this is because now he is in a position where he is playing for that contract. He will be playing alongside Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, LeBron James. He has the best opportunity to earn himself a massive payday. And if money is his motive, as long as he's performing for the Lakers on a deal that is really cost effective for them, then I don't see any problems, because the talent, like I said, is there. This is someone who has supreme skill within 15 feet. Hook shots, jump shots, fadeaways, mid-range, it doesn't matter. He can do it all. He can catch lobs out of the sky. Luka can throw it up to him, and he can bring it down from pretty much anywhere. He has such a great skill set, outside of the fact he doesn't set very hard screens, but when you have someone like Luka who can create advantages regardless of the screens being set, DeAndre Ayton is going to eat. We saw the last time he had his best years was alongside Chris Paul. Now you have another maestro in Luka Doncic, and he goes from playing with Scoot Henderson and Anthony Simons as his point guard to LeBron James, Austin Reeves, and Luka Doncic. If he could average 14 points a game in Portland and play okay defense, then is there anything to believe he can't bump those numbers up and bump the effort up on a team more competitive in a bigger market with him looking for a payday? I mean, all the signs are there, and that right there is probably the biggest hope for the Lakers this season defensively. DeAndre Ayton getting back to his best. As of right now, I don't even know where LeBron James is going to be tomorrow, but the Lakers, they still clearly have some talent.